Hello there, my name is Chris Chell. I'm with the French Army Reenactment Group down here in Bolby for Tankfest 2024. What I've been asked to do is to show you our MAS38. The MAS38 is a submachine gun designed in the 1930s for the French Army. It is calibred for 7.65 long. This particular machine gun was a war build. It was made by Saint-Étienne in the 1942-1943 period. We think it went either to the German army or maybe the French Vichy, we're not 100% sure. However, it was captured on the D-Day or thereabouts by a Captain George. He powered in onto the Atlantic Wall for an advance party. This machine gun was a war bringback. Once he brought it back, he left up in his attic, forgot about it, along with the Luger. The Luger itself, after they got forgotten about for 40, 50 years, they then got found out upon his death, unfortunate death, a couple of years ago. His granddaughter then found it in the attic along with the ammunition, some grenades, a Luger's, called in the bomb squad. Once the dust had settled, the Luger and the MAS38 went to auction. And once deactivated. This one is now deactivated to current UK spec, along with the Luger was. And the Luger sold straight away, as it do. German weapons are very desirable within the UK. However, this MAS39, well, luckily for me, didn't. And it went to Millweb for sale, where I immediately snapped it up and met the family of the owner. And I went over to their house in south of London. Awesome people, lovely. Showed us a bit of the history, talked about Captain George and his citations, his war experiences. And yeah, it's an awesome piece of history that we've now managed to secure for the group, which is quite cool.
Yeah, it's not a very common weapon, is it? I mean, how many were manufactured, do you know?
I can't remember offhand. They made them on and off, obviously, with the war period from about late 1930s all the way into the 1940s. But unfortunately, with the 7.5 long, they wanted, after the World War II, they realised that the 7.5 long was an obsolete cartridge. So they went with 9mm, which then became the 1946 trials, which was you may see later, is the Hotchkiss and the MAT39. These were two competitors for that trial, and yeah. And the MAS38 sort of disappeared into history.
Yeah, it's really nice to see it. I mean, I remember it from a kid seeing an Action Man one. So seeing that was like, it's
very distinctive. And it's got some nice mechanical features. I mean, if you look at it, it looks like it's slightly been run over by a steamroller. This is due to there's a number of reasons, and it's been depending who you talk to. There is, yeah. I can't get a definitive exact answer. One of the theory is because obviously it being sloped, it will slow the recoil down to bring it within a prescribed, I think it's 400 rounds per minute. It also allows you to bring your head behind the sights quite nicely. Yeah, and it was also the downside because with the 1946 trials, they did try and make a 9mm version, but because all this is the spring, the recoil spring and everything's in here, so you can't actually make it folding. Folding was part of the procurement request.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite a change, wasn't it, during the Second World War in submachine gun philosophy?
Oh yeah, I mean, World War II changed everything as far as submachine guns went. I mean, before the war, this was not considered an important weapon. You know, the French army, as soon as they wanted to go through their rearmament process after World War I, because World War I, the tail end of World War I, they came out of World War I with everything. You know, they had multiple calibers, multiple guns from the multiple countries. So what they decided to do was to standardise. They standardised on a number of cartridges, 7.65. Originally this was 9mm during testing, but it went to 7.65 long, which is what they standardised on for their pistol and their submachine guns. 7.5 by 58 is what they decided on for their rifles and their heavy machine guns. But that became, obviously as we all know, became 54 due to the incidents they had with mixing up ammunition, and that then became the 1929 round. So
Yeah, fascinating. Well, I've just noticed it's got actually got a magazine cover, which is quite unusual.
Again, it's a bring back from World War One. You know, the problem with World War One, muck everywhere. You know, they learnt it from the Shosha that you can just remove the magazine and then you can cover that opening to prevent dirt and ingress from getting into the working parts.
Yeah.
And you look at the, for example, the 2429. You know, the dust cover on that is pretty phenomenal. You know, the way it folds and they were almost paranoid about dirt and ingress after the World War One battlefield. The other thing is you've got your safety as well, which is quite cool. Safety is in position here. To bring it into live, you just flick the trigger down. You can't pull the trigger if it's not in the way.
Yeah.
That's quite cool.
I said it was a lovely bit of dead end technology, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was what do you call it again? It was a development. You know, it was required for the development of the submachine gun that they had to go through the obsolete calibers, if you like, before they got to 9mm, which we all know and love.
Yeah. No, that's really good. Thank you very much.
No worries at all.